I'm Robin.
I'm Julie.
And today we're going to talk about Seed to Seal, which the real reason we want to talk about it is like, why should I buy a Young Living oil when I can go to Target and buy blah blah oil, right?
Exactly. Absolutely. So we're the only essential oil in the world to offer a Seed to Seal guarantee.
Right. So Young Living takes this very seriously, and it's totally worth all of the money that the oil it costs, because they do sustainable harvesting. They use the ground that has no pesticides, and they rotate the earth. That's the sustainable harvesting part, which is really awesome. They do first distillation, which is when you're distilling the plant to get the oil out. The first time you distill it is first distillation, but some companies could do second and third, like a tea bag. When you make tea, the first time is first distillation, the second, the third, and so on is second, third distillation. So it's not as powerful. Do you want to talk about other facets of Seed to Seal?
So they even make sure that the soil that they prepare it, that they are actually putting in great soil and great microbes and feeding the soil.
They put food enzymes in.
Yes.
Or not food enzymes, just enzymes in the earth.
And so any time in the process, we hand weed. So we have farms all over the world. I can't even hand weed my little tiny space, and all the farms are hand weeded, and there are no pesticides, fungicides, herbicides, any of the junk.
So the reason why that's important is the more they use mechanical instruments in the farm, the more manipulated that plant is. So hand weeding makes the plant just reach its potential better than if you use some kind of mechanical instrument.
Right. Absolutely. Very important. And why, and if you're doing essential oils for healthy reasons, why in the world would you take a chance of putting something that could have some junk in it, some synthetic junk, because these are so concentrated. So it's not like eating, say you wanted to eat an apple that had, maybe it wasn't organic and it had some pesticides in it and that kind of stuff. It is not like that. It is like eating an apple. Oh my gosh, I love highest potential. That has been dumped a whole farm truckload of pesticides in it. So these are so concentrated. So you cannot cheat on these. You just can't.
Right. So other things about the Seed to Seal is one cool thing is distilling it at the right part of the plant life. So sometimes you could let's say you could distill at 60% of the plant life or 80%, and that would have different qualities, different therapeutic qualities to it. So they're committed to that. They will throw batches away if it's not the right, doesn't have the right, what's the good word? Constituent to do that therapy. And then when it goes to bottling, they don't use any synthetics. If they can't produce or source that plant material, they actually don't create it. And this is kind of unique because a lot of companies want to make money, you know, and so they do. They homogenize the batches. So with Young Living, sometimes you could get peppermint. It might smell different because it was harvested at different times or in different places. They don't make any homogenation to make it the same smell. Because they want you to use that very unique plant that was from the earth for all of the therapeutic benefits.
Yes.
What else about Seed to Seal? Oh, so, because they don't do the synthetics, they get out of stock of things, which is why I became an oil hoarder. Because
that is true.
My favorite blend, Valor, actually, I think my favorite blend now is Kid Power. But used to be Valor. I know. It used to be Valor, and they couldn't source. Oh, I read about it last night. It was actually Northern Lights. And it was out of stock for 1 year. It was terrible. So then after that, I was like, oh my gosh, I have to make sure I have several of anything I can't live without because it could go out of stock.
Right. It's very important.
So anyway, that's why you want to buy Young Living. It's high quality. Just takes one drop to do something.
And we had sometimes we do a class. It's essential oils on a budget or under 30 oils under 30. So there's so many Young Living ones that are the citrus ones. The citrus ones are great. They're so inexpensive and they're so good for you.
True.
I love those.
So the price is actually directly related to how hard it is to extract. So citrus oils are cold pressed from the rind of the fruit. So those are way easier. So lemon, lime, grapefruit, bergamot, those are all cheapo. Well, lemon is the cheapest. Of citrus fresh, they're very uplifting. Most people don't find citrus aversive. They like it. Whereas like rose, that they take like each petal, super expensive, very high frequency and super amount of dollars. So it runs the gamut. Frankincense is kind of in the middle there, depending on what size bottle you get, because that is a little harder too because they take the resin. So it really just depends. If you are oiling and buying something from the store, I challenge you to smell our lavender and your lavender and see what you think. Okay? All right, anything else you want to add to about Sea-to Seal?
Nope. And just the thing about lavender, it is so cool. So most of the lavender, the other part that is not grown by Young Living is a hybrid. And so if you look at our fields, you get some blues and purples and some variation. And if you look at one that is hybridized and sterile, by the way, it's actually sterile, you will get a very uniform color. So I love, it's so cool that ours is not hybridized and not sterile.
Well, now we have to tell the lavender story.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
So Gary, when he was first trying to learn how to grow lavender, he started studying with a French farmer. I don't know his name.
Jacques.
It's a French.
We should know.
It's a good French name. It's in that book. Jeanette, if you're watching, it's in that book. Oi. So, anywho, you know, he was studying with him. He would go to France like every weekend to learn how to grow the lavender properly. And then eventually he got their acceptance. You know, this American who's trying to like learn how to farm. And there was some kind of drought. Was it a drought in France?
I thought it was a fungus, but maybe it was drought.
Some kind of natural issue. That's not even the point.
Right.
The point was there was a natural issue in France. And they lost their lavender fields. And they reached out to Gary. Well, they were friends. The farmer, the famous farmer, and a whole bunch of other people were friends with Gary. So Gary took the lavender that he grew here in the U.S. and replenished in France.
It's so cool.
Really cool. And in the description, we'll put the name of the book. Because
Yes,
it's really good.
They tell the whole story. They even tell the story about how Gary said so many years prior to this happening that someday he's going to help out. He's going to, you know, repay everything that he has learned, and he's going to end up helping out the French. And he did.
He did.
So, yep.
We actually saw that man, the French guy,
Oh, yeah.
and his wife. They were on videos for the convention.
They were at the distillation.
Oh, is that where that was?
Yep.
Can't remember. All right. So that's the story. So let me know if you want to smell our lavender. Bye.
Bye.